angry. I mean, I'll be real with you guys. I've wanted to kill people before since I was a kid. Because I, Sumed said I went through bullying, right?
Yeah.
And to me, I had these fantasies of going and be like, I'm gonna kill these motherfuckers whenever they're sleeping. I'm gonna go. I was like really committed, like straight up. I was really committed to fucking murdering them in that moment, right? But then I didn't do it, obviously, because I mean, sleeping was better than going and murdering somebody.
Oh, so sleep saved your life. All right, cool.
And
Or from like years in prison.
Welcome to the Better Man Podcast with Ivan and Sumed. This podcast is all about how to be an optimal, conscious man in today's society. Join Ivan and Sumed as they go deep into the rabbit hole of personal growth, mindset, social dynamics, and spirituality. Are you ready to be a better man?
Alrighty, so welcome back to the Better Man Podcast, guys. So I'm going to interview Ivan, who is an incredible individual, one of my best friends, and he's had a really difficult childhood, and because of that, he was really heavily bullied by people in his family, and except he always fought back, and he always has been a fighter. And one of the defining characteristics of Ivan is his ability to understand unhealthy attachments. He goes by Odd Resilience, which is a very impactful name. What does that name mean, man?
For me,
what does that mean to you?
Odd is characterized by me frequently being known as a bit crazy. I'll use that word. Now, what I realized crazy means, estoy en una entrevista. Crazy means a bit too much to the left and a bit too much to the right, or a bit too much to the right. It's just not in the center, not in the normal. What is within the normal, right? The normal is what everybody else is following. What is mostly followed, what is mostly known, right? That is considered normal. And for sure, I study esoteric things. I talk about, my expression and sometimes I start dancing and I start singing randomly in public.
Yeah, you've done that
right?
more than multiple times when you were with me, bro. And it sometimes makes me really uncomfortable, but also sometimes like I go along with it as well. It's really
See, you just said it. It makes you uncomfortable while I'm dancing and having an expression of joy, right? Now, do you not see how that sounds funny? But it makes sense within the context of it's not normal for people to be dancing and singing and shit like that.
Yeah, it's like it just reminds me, because it's just not something that you see all the time. It's just you're right. Like odd is breaking of the norms.
Standing out, right?
Standing out. Yeah.
That's really what the odd means to me, right?
Yeah.
Plus, actually, I realize this right now. My life path is 3. Right? That's an odd number, right?
Yeah.
Another major number in my life
and
is
3
11.
letters to an odd. Yeah.
11. That's an odd number, right? So
that's awesome.
Yeah, I definitely stand out everywhere I go, and sometimes I go places and I don't. Sometimes I don't want to stand out, right? But just me being me, I stand out, right? Even though sometimes I don't want attention, man. Like I like attention. Do I like attention? Yes. Do I need it? Not all the time. Sometimes I'm just like, I just want to be a fucking shadow, and out of nowhere, just me, just being my beingness. It attracts people to me because they're like, oh my fucking gosh, this guy, just what he just said right now, that no one's ever responded to me like that. Right?
Yeah. Have you always been like that since you were a child?
I never felt like I fit in. Right?
Mm.
For me, I would look at my writing and I would look at the writing of other kids, and it was just like not the same. It just wasn't the same. I'm not saying it's better or anything. I'm just saying it wasn't the same. Right?
Mm.
Now, for me, I'm a polar opposites kind of person. Not bipolar, make that clear. I'm not bipolar, right? But I fluctuate a lot within the spectrum of everything.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, there's certain extremes that I won't go to, right? But I might think about them for sure, right? I have extreme thoughts. I have extreme feelings. When I cry,
Yeah.
I fucking cry. When I laugh, I fucking laugh. When, but sometimes I'm in the middle too. Sometimes I'm in boredom. Boredom's like in the middle, right?
Mm.
So I go everywhere within the spectrum. So for me, that also meant, when you're sad, you're fucking sad, man. You're fucking sad. And when you're happy, you're fucking, man, nothing can fucking stop me. I'm unstoppable. And I've been like this since I was younger, right? So, like, I mean, if I was angry, I mean, I'll be real with you guys. I've wanted to kill people before since I was a kid. Because I, Sumed said I went through bullying, right?
Yeah.
And to me, I had these fantasies of going and be like, I'm going to kill these motherfuckers whenever they're sleeping. I'm going to go. I was like really committed, like straight up. I was really committed to fucking murdering them in that moment, right? But then I didn't do it, obviously, because, I mean, sleeping was better than going and murdering somebody.
Oh, so sleep saved your life. All right, cool.
And
or from like years in prison, like sleep stopped you from that.
because sleep is actually you process a lot of lower, like that's what we have nightmares. I used to have like really bad nightmares, right? But people don't realize that nightmares is a way of you processing like the lower vibrations, lower energy thoughts that are within you, right?
Yeah,
So
for sure, man.
for me, I had to always fight back. I couldn't give up, right? For me, giving up was never an option.
Yeah.
Why? Because
And I guess that's where the resilience comes in, right?
that's where the resilience comes in. For me, you know what I mean? In a way, you could say I was trying to prove myself, right? Even to myself, prove myself to myself that I can and that I will. I had a lot of willingness. And I've always had this like, I can do it sort of mentality since I was a kid, and that was gifted to me. I'm really, I sometimes in my life I haven't had it, obviously, because like I've said, I fluctuate. But from a young age, that willingness was always there to fight, to keep going.
Right. Yeah, and I've noticed you're a very expressive type of person, and I also, I really respect that. And also, have you always been like that? Like, when you were a kid, what was your goal? What was your biggest thing? Like, you had a dream that you wanted to be. Did you have a goal like that, or did it constantly change, or how was
No,
that process?
I just wanted to be better than other people. I'll tell you straight up. I'll tell you fucking straight up, dude. I wanted to be better than other people. That was my fucking goal, right?
At
If
what
you,
though, specifically? Like, just
if
in
like
life?
at everything. I was a competitive person, a really, really competitive person. So
Yeah.
even like in the field, like when we're running our fullest, and like people, like when we're playing soccer and like, in these games, and people would push me while I'm running, and I would have fucking twisted my ankle and fucking rolled through the floor, right? The moms on the sideline, you know what they called me? They'd call me Rubber Man, right? Because I would get like if they would push me, I would like fall to the ground and sort of like bounce back up real fucking quick
Like
in one
some
motion.
Mr. Fantastic type shit. Yeah.
In one fucking motion, it was like a circle. I was on the ground and suddenly I'm up and I'm running quick as fuck. You can't fucking like, I'm fucking there. I'm right behind you again, right? Don't fucking think that just because you pulled that shit on me, I'm gonna give up. Like, never,
Mm.
ever, 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 never, ever, ever, right?
Mm. And where do you think that came from, that drive?
I mean, power. I fucking wanted power. I wanted power. I felt weak. I felt like I had no power. I had no control over my life, and I wanted some fucking control, right?
Yeah.
I wanted some fucking control, right? So when I was in the fear, I was raised fear based. This is how so many people are raised. They're raised. It's
Yeah.
like, they're like, don't kill because you're gonna go to hell, right? Well, why don't instead I not kill because I love the people around me, right? Does that not make more sense to you, right?
Right.
Don't if you don't study, I'm gonna hit you or I'm gonna punish you by making you put your clip from the green down to the yellow, down to the red. You're gonna get punished for having bad grades. Can I not have good grades instead? Not from fear of punishment, but because I want to pursue something, right? So that's where so many people were raised in that fear, right? So
Yeah, it's a negative reinforcement. Yeah. It's like punishment based. I get what you're saying.
now for me, I didn't really need that stuff. Like,
Mm.
I don't need that stuff. I don't need that. I didn't need that. I mean, did I learn lessons? Of course I learned lessons, right? Now I'm appreciative of those lessons. I just personally thought, like, you could just say it a nice way and I'll get it done, man. I
Yeah.
can just fucking get it done. So a big portion of growing up was learning to love myself deeper and accept myself, right? Because I mean, I made a video on this in my car, right? But I was like I was talking to people indirectly, and I said, "What are your insecurities?" I'm just gonna start naming body parts right now, and tell me what you're insecure about, right? Hair, nose, eyes, cheekbones, lips, chin, shoulders, back, elbows, fingers, penis, butthole, vagina, right?
Mm.
And even some people might have heard like penis, butthole, vagina, and they'd be like, oh, that's gross. Is it really fucking gross? Are you saying gross over your own body part, over something that's natural, or where you fucking came
Yeah,
out
I
from your
find that
mom?
really strange. Yeah, that people are like, it's gross or whatever.
And see,
This is a part of you.
that just shows you that you have a conditioning of these parts are bad, and you have guilt. You have shame over them. You have shame over them.
Yeah. Yeah, there's always been kind of a shaming of the body that's happened very organically. Even like I noticed a lot of religions do that. Like they shame the body, like um specifically because it's more spirit focused, right? Spirit based. And so the body is kind of left back. But yeah, the body's super important. And yeah, you went through this whole tremendous health journey. Um, from the time I met you in university when I went to London, and from the time where I saw you, transform your body. Um, Tell me a little bit about that journey, because that's I think that's a very inspiring one, and if you can share some of the experiences that you've been through during that time.
For me, I've seen the world as my mentor, right?
Yeah.
And I still have this memory from I was a little kid, right? And I'm in my parents' room. I'm sitting on the floor, look, and it's dark, right? Except the door's open, the main door's open, and the hallway lights are on, so I can see inside, right? And I'm looking through this like sports magazine, this a store here in Texas in America called Academy Sports and Outdoors. So I see this guy with this red tank top, right? And he's got like one dumbbell up and he's like flexing and he's smiling. He was like a white dude. Honestly, he kind of looked like me. And I was like, Mom, he had buff ass fucking arms, right? And I told my mom in that moment, Mom, I'm gonna have arms like this guy, right? I want to be this strong. So I said that when I was between like 7, 8, 9, that somewhere around that age, that's when I said that, right? So
Yeah.
for me, looking at that person made me go, wow, that's admirable. And I've always wanted to be someone that you could admire, right? And this is really crazy, right? But when I was little, I thought that I was secretly being watched. I had secret cameras that my crush put inside my house, and she would watch me do things during my fucking time, right? I was a little kid. I was a little boy, right? So I was like,
Did that put you on edge? Like you were sort of like, whoa, like.
no, I was like, I gotta fucking like, be this fucking magnificent person that even while they're doing something as simple as taking a shower, they look like a badass, right?
Right. Damn, that's powerful. So you like sort of embodied that character of that magnificence because you thought you were being watched. That's really powerful, man.
And I mean, as much as I might like hate to say this, right? Putting my ego aside, having an intense life. Since I was a kid, I would come home, right? And I don't know, my dad would just be like pissed, because that's where the vibration he was in. And he would just like start yelling at me for whatever fucking reason, right? And I mean, I took it personal, right? So I wanted to prove myself to my dad, like in full honesty. That's what I was trying to do, and like having girlfriends and stuff. I think the reason I liked girls and stuff when I was a little kid, but the reason that I struggled to keep them was because secretly there was an intention behind it of I've got to prove myself. Right? So that's where I had my struggle, and this whole time has been letting go of it's like I can still go for the money, I can still go for the women, but it's not anymore from a trying to prove myself aspect, right?
Yeah. So did you feel like on your health journey it was also a process of like proving yourself?
I was fit since I was young because like I wanted to look good. I tell you, dude, I wanted to be strong because I wanted to beat my dad's ass. I'm telling you, like since I was a kid, I wanted to beat his ass, bro. I wanted to beat him up, dude, like straight up. That's not what I did, right? But it was a motivator. It was a lower self motivator, right? I was much more motivated from my lower self. And then like let's just say going up later thinking like, yo, I just want to look good. I want to be sexy, right?
Yeah.
Then that was more like a mid self, trying a mid self like expression of a goal, right? But then I think the biggest change was whenever I started raising my vibration, I realized that instead, why don't I do this to inspire other people, for them to be fit, for them to see me? Because I realized that each and every one of us is an influencer. You're an influencer everywhere you go because you affect people with your vibration just by being there, just by being at the store, just by talking to the cash register, just by talking on the phone for a delivery, right? You're being on the fucking train of all things. Your vibration, your beingness is always influencing other people. So I was like, I need to influence people every fucking where that I go.
Yeah, I think it's also impact, right? Because influence is a very feminine energy and impact is like the masculine energy, right? So everywhere you're going, you're constantly influencing and impacting others. Yeah, that's really powerful that you sort of went through this rung of the ladder, right, of motivation. So you started off with the lower, vibrations, and then you slowly started to rise up on the scale. And then you were like, yeah, I'm doing this for, cause or to, show others that it can be possible. So yeah, that's really powerful how you sort of
what's
went up.
fucking crazy? You know what's crazy though? You know those times when you don't feel like doing it? When you really don't feel like doing it? That's when I would recommend each and every person to tap into their lower self and do it for that lower self goal, right?
Mm,
Do it for that lower self goal, because that's where your vibration is in that moment. Your vibration in that moment is of lower. That's why you can't do it, right?
mm,
Like if your vibration is in the lower and you're telling yourself, I want to be healthy, I want to be healthy, well, your vibration isn't of trying to be healthy. That's not your intention. But if your intention is of, I want to look fucking good, I want to be sexy, I want to fuck more girls, right? I
right.
want to be able to fucking take shirtless selfies, right? You know, what's a few more like lower self goals when it comes to your body?
Yeah, like I guess like I'm gonna prove everybody wrong. The people who didn't trust in me, like the people who didn't believe in me when I was growing up, like I want to show them that I
The
can
people
be
who rejected
somebody.
me, yeah, the people who
Yeah, yeah,
rejected
yeah,
me, I'm gonna look fucking more attractive than you. I'm gonna be stronger than
yeah,
you. More people are
yeah,
gonna like me than you, right? These lower
exactly.
goals, they fucking work too whenever you
Yeah,
don't want to do the work.
yeah, you got to start where you're at, is what you're saying. Like, don't sort of leap for those higher motivations if you're still at that vibration.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
spot on, spot on, spot on.
that's awesome, man. So, how influential has
Yeah, what do you want to know about me? Like you as my friend, you has been around me.
yeah,
I think you're in the really like one of the best positions to ask me questions because you've got to know
yeah.
me deeply. What do you want to know about me?
Man, I just want to know a little bit more about like your mindset and like how you keep yourself like motivated to like go to the gym or motivated to keep pushing. Do you have something that you any kind of self-talk that you tell yourself?
At this point, I just fucking feel so shit whenever I don't do it.
Mm,
At this point, I just feel shit whenever I don't do it. My body feels weak. I don't feel strong enough. I don't feel like I can go on, and it's become a spiritual, right? But at the same time, I do like going to the gym because there's girls there, man, and they're fucking
yeah.
hot, right? And
Yeah.
I want those fucking girls to look at me and be like, "This guy's fucking hot. This guy's fucking strong,"
Mm,
or fucking look at booty from the distance, right?
mm,
It's a nice thing, man. And I like talking to the people that work there. There's a lot of fucking attractive girls there, right? Like that's fun for me. So it's been a fun experience going to the gym where it's kind of a social event, right?
mm, right. Totally. And who do you think has had the biggest influence or impact on your life from the time that you were growing up or to the time now? Who have you been inspired by?
The most,
I know one was like that guy who was like doing the little flex.
yeah,
That
yeah,
was like one of them.
random ass guy.
Yeah.
Who has inspired me the most? This is gonna sound fucking egotistic as hell, but myself, man. I
Yeah.
fucking I'm inspired by myself because the same way that others are experiencing me, I'm experiencing myself too. It's new to me too. The things that I'm saying, they're new to me too, right? I've always, I mean, because I guess this just has to do with me not being able to open up to other people and always looking to myself to hold space for myself, right?
Mm,
And always trying to be my own mentor, separating from myself and myself, right?
right.
My different selves, it's like I'm myself, but I'm not myself, right?
Yeah.
And that separation has allowed me to see myself as something else than me, and me being my own source of inspiration, and
Mm,
God, and honestly God, because I just think
yeah.
goddamn fucking God is so motherfucking powerful. Like
Yeah.
if I just start thinking about God, or if I put a church song on, that makes me feel protected. That makes me feel like
Mm,
these problems are so fucking small because God is so big.
yeah.
Humbling myself, humbling myself has made me feel stronger. Humbling myself in perspective to God. This is what I was telling my brother. It's like, if you're fucking Cristiano Ronaldo, you're not gonna humble yourself to the. So if he's okay, so let me put it in context. If he's coaching his daughters or his son's soccer team, right? He's not gonna humble himself, because to humble yourself means to make yourself less, right?
Right.
He's fucking Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the world's greatest players that ever fucking lived. One of the with the most greatest impact that ever lived, right? This is so what I'm trying to say is, like, he's not gonna pretend that he's not a really good soccer player while he's there. It's the kids that should say, yo, I'm humbling myself to Cristiano Ronaldo, because he knows what he's saying. He knows what he's talking about. He's been through it, right? So humble yourself in the places that you don't know and learn from other people. And humbling myself to the universe, because the universe is so powerful. And instead of trying to control the universe and trying to control my world, I always try to let go of control all the time, and instead allow the universe to bring me what I need in that moment, right? Because when I'm focused on trying to control, I'm not realizing it, and I'm not able to realize that, yo, the universe is bringing me exactly what I need right now.
It's not. It's like it's not always confidence. It's like Godfidence at times.
Godfidence. Hey, I like that, bro. I like that. Godfidence.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your experience in terms of how you've been able to have a relationship with work and work ethic.
Yeah. So I like fucking money. Since I was a kid, I'll tell you, man, like, I went through stages of creating businesses when I was younger. Like, I had my shit on top, because, let's say, like, elementary school, little kids, I was making these these origami paper things. They were called spinners, right? And you would make it into a cube, square, I mean, and you would spin it, and you would, like, spin them against other people. I was selling that shit, bro.
Kind of like Beyblades, but paper Beyblades, yeah.
I was selling that shit. Real quick, another random memory that popped in, but it's more health related. I saw in a movie that people were putting, like, rocks and weights into their backpack to make it heavier on themselves, right? One time when I went to school, I put a fucking 10-pound, I was an elementary little boy, and I put a 10-pound weight inside my backpack. And then while I was on the bus on the way home, I was curling that shit, bro. I was, like, lifting that thing on the bus, dude, a little kid, right? So anyway, going back to, like, business. And then I've sold, like, at one point I would bring, like, a second backpack to school, right? And I would have around 30 bags of chips in there, different assortments of candy, right? And during lunch break, I would go into my counselor's office, because a lot of us would hang out there and do work or do, like, applications for scholarships and things like that. This was in high school, right?
Yeah.
And every day I would make around $40, $45 a day cash, right? From selling chips and candy in school illegally, right? Even before that, right? I had a trip to New York City one time, because I used to be an actor, and I wanted to raise some money so I can go and have some fun over there, right? And, like, I don't know, like, back in the day, the mentality was like, I don't know whenever I'm going to go back over there, right? And I mean, in a way that is true. I don't know whenever I'm going to go back over there, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to sell sunglasses. It's summer. People are waiting outside for their parents.
Yeah.
And I found a wholesalers, right, from China. And I started with one box, right? It was about 14 glasses. The box cost me about maybe like $40 total for shipping and for the product itself.
Yeah.
And then I sold 16 glasses, right, for $10 each, right? All of them, right?
Damn.
And I was like, damn, like I made like so that's like 160 minus that 40. So then I was like, you know what? Let me go with 2 boxes now, right? And then I'm selling 2 different boxes, right? But I'm looking for styles that I would like. Not, and then so there was like a scale, right? So it's like let's say there's a scale of glasses, and it's like glasses that I would like, glasses that I wouldn't like, and glasses that everybody likes, right? So I had to find that middle point, right? And
Yeah.
those are the kind of glasses that I would find, right? And I would buy those $20 a piece, $20 shipping, right? And then I would sell all of those, right? I became known as the guy that was selling glasses, and I just made hella money that fucking summer before I went to New York.
Man, that's hella entrepreneurial because you're like you're coming from authenticity, right? And then you're balancing it with relevance. Like, oh, other people like this too. So you're looking at the market as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You had this mindset when you were young. So how old were you when you were doing this?
15?
15?
Yeah.
Awesome. And you mentioned that you'd been a part of some plays or like theater or acting. What was that experience like for you?
I first started when I was 12 years old, and I auditioned for the Pirate King, the Pirates of Penzance.
Mm-hmm.
And I got the script. I went to the audition, and I started doing it. And people were just busting their ass off. And I was like, what? Like, I'm not even trying to be funny, right? But people were saying, dude, just the way that you say it, you're just fucking hilarious, man. You're just fucking funny. And I was like, yeah, like, I was like, damn, that's fucking badass that I had a natural talent for acting. But I mean, I'll tell you this, man, the day that we performed that, we did not perform it perfectly. But you know what? People loved it way more. Because we had fun. We were doing things that our director didn't tell us to do. But while we were up there, we were having so much fucking fun that, dude, we came up with fucking choreographies while the thing was happening. I'm so serious with like our own dance moves and shit. Like, it was so spontaneous, dude. And
just imagine, yeah.
Nobody knew how this even happened. And then we had a librarian, right? Who used to be a professional ballet dancer. And she started her own company for theater. And then I think the first play that I did was Beauty and the Beast, and I was Gaston, right?
Oh snap, yeah.
and playing that part of that Gaston character, that was so easy for me because I had a lot of swagger for some reason, man. I don't know. It just out of nowhere, like swagger kicked into my life.
Oh, swagger, dog.
In elementary, girls didn't like me, man. But whenever I went into middle school, like suddenly, I was the fucking hottest guy. I was the most attractive. I was Mr. fucking popular out of nowhere. And that didn't make sense to me. It wasn't within my reality of like the norm.
Yeah. What was that shift like from middle school to when you sort of made that transition? I mean, was it sort of just like how you're reacting to it or the experience that you got from the...
invisible. I felt invisible when I was younger. I felt like I wasn't seen or acknowledged, right?
Right.
And then suddenly, I guess, I mean, part of it, I can say that I was having more fun with life. And I was working out. Actually, I was working out. I could definitely say that working out had something to do with it.
Yeah.
Because I was fit and I was fast. I was a fast-ass fucking kid. Since I was a kid, I was like, yo, I got to be because what was considered cool whenever you're a little kid was like, who's the fastest, right?
I remember that, yeah.
So I was like, I want to be the fastest, man. And I was quick as hell. I was fast, man. I was fast, right? And playing soccer, that was cool. And and me being funny, I was a bit of a class clown because I like the attention, right?
Yeah,
I
I can
like,
imagine you being a class clown for sure.
I do, man. Honestly, I love the attention, right?
Yeah.
Mm,
That's awesome, man. I think we both had kind of like a theater kind of experience that really shaped our lives and, and brought us more into ourselves. Um, that's really awesome, man. I think that a huge aspect of theater is like it challenges your ego. You sort of you step out of the persona of who you thought you were, but
mm,
also like when you're playing a character who's more in tune with that, like you played Gaston and you got that swagger, like
mhm,
that was already within you. You just had
mhm,
to put on the role or the character to bring
mhm,
it out. You know what I'm saying?
mhm. I'm so happy for the people that were able to see my light whenever I
Yeah.
couldn't see my light, right?
Yes.
Because just when I was a kid, I felt like I was everything that I wanted and everything that a lot of things that I thought about, they're just considered wrong, and I was just always told that I was wrong, and I was always told no, right? And that no mentality got me to think no about myself. So when other people were able to see my light, that for me was like, wow, I'm so thankful for so many people, dude, that I didn't even realize how extraordinary I was. But the ways
Mm,
people spoke about me, they like that was what changed me. I would say the way other people started treating me.
mm. Yeah, that's almost in psychology, we call that the looking glass self. Just like how people see us tends to become who we are. So if, like, let's say, for example, if your mom's calling you lazy or whatever, you're going to become lazy because that's how she sees you and that's your familiarity with that. So
Mm-hmm,
if somebody sees you as an awesome person, you're going to transform into an awesome person?
mm-hmm.
So it's like who is looking at you often shapes us. So,
Who
yeah.
it was Marshall Silver, right? One of the most famous um, hypnotherapists
Hmm.
who has, I mean, even at times gotten paid 100,000 to cure someone from smoking addiction in 10 minutes,
Right.
right? He's helped people who haven't left their house in 20 years, and he just cures them in that moment with hypnosis and
Yeah.
certainty. This is what he said. He said that your world is created by validation.
Mm. Yep.
There's a lot of people out there who complain about life, and people will continue to validate their complaining.
Right.
Oh yeah, it's tough for you. Oh, I acknowledge it's tough for you, right? Oh, it's so
Yeah.
hard
Like,
for you. I'm sad for you. We're so sad for you. Oh my gosh, you're such a victim. Oh man, I'm
yeah.
so sad
And
for
that keeps you in that victim mentality, right? Because it's like you're being seen as the victim.
you. And you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's me. That's me. I accept it, right?
Yeah.
When people should honestly be saying, yo, you had a choice. You had a choice. You still have a choice. You still have a choice, right? I don't care what fucking brain disease you got, what body disease you got, you still have a choice, right? And it's all in the mind. And you can get rid of anything and everything if you somehow tap into the infinite knowledge that exists. Because as we've noticed with Sumed's interview that we just did, you can go watch it after this one. The thing that got you into that situation is the same thing that's going to get you out of it. It's a
Yeah.
paradox. It's a paradox.
Totally. Paradox. Paradox. Yeah. Totally, man. I think that a part of that is also like being really good at what you're doing, right? Because if if you're not good at what you're doing, people aren't going to pay attention to that. But like you, for instance, like on stage, you crushed it, that performance. So be so good that they can't ignore you.
That's
And I
also
think
true.
that's
That's
that's a
also
huge
true.
element of that.
That's
Yeah.
also true. Something that came to my mind, and I sort of like moving forward. was recently I was having this conflicting thought, different beliefs inside of my head,
Yeah.
right? And I was tired of this fucking confusion. So tired. And I was like, okay, dude, which one of these is wrong?
Mm.
Which one of these is wrong? Because which one of these is pulling you down? If it's pulling you down, it's the wrong one.
Yeah. It's
So,
sort of like an unclosed loop, right? It's like an unresolved thought, so it causes confusion when we don't close those loops.
mhm.
Yeah.
And I had to think to myself, yo, what you believe isn't true. What you believe is not true. But why
Right.
is it? Is this your thought? Is it somebody else's thought?
Yeah. It could
And
be
I
you're
realized
made to believe it's true. Yeah.
what I realized was I had not been trusting myself, trusting my version of reality, right? Somebody else on another podcast said, damn, I forgot what they said. I forgot what I was even gonna say. Oh yeah, I remember. It was that we didn't come to this world to teach lessons. Our lessons are things that people learn by themselves whenever they see you being a certain way. So you should just focus on being the light, being bright as you possibly can, and that's what's going to change people, right?
Yeah.
Not trying to teach them, but allowing them to teach themselves and giving them the tools and the encouragement and the power to do it for themselves.
Yeah, man, totally. Like in my interview, I suddenly thought of the word lighthouse, right? And it's so similar to your case too. I think you're a lighthouse, man. I think that you help people to come to that light yourself. That's really inspiring. Could you tell the people a little bit about any projects you're working on? Let them know about what got you to write your book and what are some next steps for you?
So I think I'm going to make the book more expensive because,
Yeah.
I mean, I know the value that's in there. I wanted to get a few people that, maybe you've never purchased a book before or things like that. But
Yeah.
what made me realize that I should change the book prices because I tell people the book price $9.99 and they're like, oh yeah, that's cheap, right? And in my head, I'm thinking like, no, it's not cheap because my definition of cheap is cheaply made. That means it doesn't have like the proper things in it, right?
Right.
But no, like the fucking book is wow. Man, dude, this book is really, really, really fucking amazing. I read it and I teach myself lessons from it. I teach myself lessons from my own fucking book, dude. And I'm
That's
gonna make it more
wonderful.
expensive because people think because based on the price, they think it's not worth it. It doesn't have they think they're gonna get $9.99 worth when really there's $1,000 worth in there, right?
Yeah. Yeah, people got to learn, man, to own their own sauce. I think that you definitely own your own sauce. You know what I'm saying? Like you're like, yeah, man, I read my own book. I get inspired. Similarly, I listen to my own music. I get inspired, and a lot of people just need to sort of allow themselves to do that. We don't give ourselves permission to do that at times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've also got a life purpose course, right?
Mm-hmm.
But to be straight up, man, anybody can come to me with anything and I can create a custom course for them. Like I can tell you what you need to do and how you need to do it. And this is the plan that you have to follow. Like I'm just at that level, man. I'm really just at that level because I have so much knowledge from so many different places that I'm really
Yeah.
able to provide things like that. Because I mean, because I've been to even things like chiropractors and like physical therapists.
Yes.
That has taught me more about the body because being all around these people and bringing in my problems and my symptoms, right? That has taught me how to deal with those problems and symptoms, right? So
That's a game changer because like massage and chiropractic, like all that stuff is like it releases trauma from the body as well. And like that's an incredible tool that you can have. Like you left your massage ball back here when you visited India, and I keep using that thing, man. It is so relaxing. Like it's one of the the things that I keep going back to, and I share it with my clients too now.
Really?
Yeah, I share with my clients like, yo, get yourself a massage ball. Like, you know, it's going to help you get into the flow state. Like, so
Really?
yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So it's left an impact for sure. And I think that, like, what do you think about that sort of, you seem to bring together these three elements of mind, body, and soul.
Mhm.
So what is that experience been like for you, especially in the process or this journey of writing this book, and also in the process of like you becoming more of your preferred self or higher self?
You know, I'm realizing that my pursuit is of success in everything. So I'll tell you what that means to me. To me, success in everything means, how can I be successful as a human?
Mm,
How can I be a successful human? Not successful itself, but a successful human, right?
yeah.
So yes, that does include money, because, well, who can I fucking help? How can I start charities? How can I open up schools if I'm fucking broke? How can I take care of my wife and kids if I'm fucking broke? How can I take care of my fucking parents when they get old if I'm fucking broke? Right? So yes, money does buy happiness, right? Because you'd be fucking miserable if you couldn't take care of the people, right?
Mm,
So money definitely comes in there, but emotional health, emotional, spiritual, right? That's so important as a human, because like this one preacher said, God made you so powerful that you don't need him. No, he said him, right? I don't believe it's gender, right? You don't need him to become successful,
mm.
monetarily successful, except if you don't put God into your life. Once you get that success, you're gonna self-sabotage and you're gonna destroy yourself, or you're gonna destroy that success.
Mm. Yeah, I think that's kind of the missing piece, right? That spiritual or that soul element in a lot of people's lives. So if they're missing that soul element and they get it like financially or whatever's kind of success, it's sort of gonna um,
Mm.
that light won't come in to take its place, or that, yeah, that divine being, that beingness. Yeah, I think that that's really important. And also, like, speaking with you has gotten me to understand another element of God. I've sort of been sort of, you know, opposed a little bit to the word, but now I'm starting to really embody it. And like, I start to, you know, I'm okay with that word now. Like, I'm
With the
okay to
word God.
speak. Yeah,
Wow.
totally. Because earlier, like, you know, I would hear the word and I would sort of get a very specific idea, or like an idea that people would have, like, of a man in the sky, or like a kind of image that they would portray. And that's kind of idolatry, right? It's like, that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
And when you can embody it, like, yeah, it is this ever, you know, it is this energy, it is this presence, it is everywhere and nowhere, and it is this thing that is, you know, permeating throughout all things. And it's not like we have to search for love, it's that we have to find a portal that love can live in within
Dude,
us.
I've been saying that my religion is love.
Mm, that's awesome. And that's kind of like, it's a religion of oneness, because love is just a reminder that we're all connected as well, I feel like. So it's like,
It embodies a lot of things. Love embodies.
bodies a lot. Yeah, all,
Love
because all
embodies
religions have
freedom.
an element of that too. Like, all religions have a little piece of love in them. And that's kind of like what the Beatles were saying too, I guess. Yeah, this goes beyond what a lot of people are talking about, or saying online as well.
What everyone's
And
preaching, what all the prophets are preaching. What are all the
yeah,
prophets preaching? In their essence, what is every sin? What is Moses? What is Joseph? What was
yeah,
Mary? What was Jesus? What is the Quran? What is the Torah? What is the Bible? What is it all preaching? Love, right?
love, yeah.
Love, 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 right? The Kabbalion, I think the Kabbalion is less about love, but it's more about like universal laws,
Yeah.
right?
But then
But I
also,
guess like once you know them, you can acknowledge, you can love other people for who they are and accept them for who they are because you're like, oh well, life is a paradox and your truth is also truth. You know what I mean?
yeah, and it's also one of the strands in which other religions started was from some of the Kabbalion teachings too.
Uh,
So yeah, it's definitely there in a lot of even like not secular religions, but in different schools of thought, let's say philosophies and things like that too.
mm,
So yeah, that's really powerful, man. I think we're coming to a
yeah,
time.
yeah,
So
sure.
any last words that you want to leave the people with, or let's say that actually like leave them with something that resonates. Like if you could yell through a megaphone into the whole universe, what is it that your message? What is your main message that you would say?
So my main message, I'm waiting for you to unfreeze. You kind of got frozen. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're frozen as well, but I can hear you. It's weird.
All right, so essentially what I would tell every single person out there is to stop trying to be right. Shit. Yo. All right. I'm waiting for you to pop in. I can't see you.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you though.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say it anyway.
Yeah. Just say it. Just record it though. It shows
It's
that.
recording. It's recording. It's recording. So what I
You
want to
sure?
tell
It doesn't show that for me.
I can see it over here.
Okay. Cool. Go for it.
What I would tell every single person out there is to stop trying to be right. Stop trying to be right. When you stop trying to be right, you can see other people's truth and you can acknowledge them and love them and accept them for who they are. And once you do that, your relationship to that person, you're going to get whatever you want out from that relationship, right? Not from an
Yeah.
evil place, but if you start treating people with more respect because you accept them, because you love them, they're going to be able to communicate easier to you. And if they can communicate to you, you can communicate to them. You can let them know what you want, and they can let you know what you want, and you both can grow, and everyone can grow, right? Stop trying to be right, even to yourself, because so many times where we have these incorrect beliefs, but where we want to be right. We want to be right, so we're holding on to these incorrect beliefs. That's my story. Thank you for listening. Go and get my book on Amazon.com. Just type "Command Respect" in the search bar. If that doesn't pop up, which it usually does, it's like the second book that pops up there. It's got a unique name. That's all I gotta say for you. Go and get it now. If you're serious about fucking change, I know you're a fucking serious person. You listen to this whole podcast. Go and get that book. It's cheap right now. The price is really down right now, but the content is worth $1 million fucking dollars. Go get that book.
Awesome, man. And how can people get in touch with you if they want to work one-on-one with you, or that they want to explore, have those customized courses for them?
Yeah, go to Odd Resilience at Instagram, or you could look up Ivan Acosta author, right? Ivan Acosta author on Facebook.
Yeah.
I'll pop up, or you put Life Masters Coaching, I'll pop up, like anything like that. Even on Google, you can even sign up to my fucking Patreon account where I post
Yeah.
like just exclusive content, like super deep content that I don't post anywhere else. It's patreon.com/Life Masters Coaching. I threw a lot of stuff out there, but if you were to just go to one link, you would go to
Yeah.
Instagram and you would get content there all the time.
Wonderful, man. Thank you so much for sharing your story. We appreciate you. And yeah, have an amazing rest of your days, guys. If you're listening from Nicaragua or wherever you are, it doesn't matter. What matters is you're listening, you're tuning in.
If you would like to
and
contact
we love
Sumed
you.
for peak performance coaching, go to @FlowZone Academy on Instagram. That's FLOZONE Academy. If you would like to connect to your higher self, contact Ivan at odd.resilience. That's ODD.resilience. Also, make sure you follow the Better Man Podcast on Instagram. See you next time.